Alright, in this problem we have Jared left the coffee shop traveling 12 miles per hour. Then, 2 hours later, Dakota left traveling the same direction at 18 miles per hour. How long until Dakota catches up with Jared? So this is an example of a motion word problem, which involves rate times time equals distance. So before we jump into this problem, in case you aren't familiar yet, take a look at the problem that's at the bottom left of your screen right now. I just wrote a simple problem so we can actually see how the rate times time equals distance formula works before we jump into a harder problem. So if you drive at a rate of 50 miles per hour for 2 hours, how far have you traveled? So obviously if you've been on the road for 2 hours and you're traveling at 50 miles per hour, you end up going 100 miles. Mathematically speaking, we get that by multiplying 50 times 2 to get our 100 miles. The 50 is called our rate, or R. The 2 is our time, which is 2 hours, or T, and the 100 represents our 100 miles we traveled, or our distance. So our rate times our time equals our distance. And this is a very popular formula in algebra. So here we're going to use the same formula, but it's going to be a little bit harder. But not too bad, because we're going to actually set up a table so we can help ourselves. So let me just erase this quickly. Okay, so rate times time equals distance. So we're going to put Jared on the left, and then we're going to put Dakota also on the left, but below Jared. Doesn't matter which one comes first. So Jared left the coffee shop traveling 12 miles per hour. So our rate for Jared is 12. Dakota's rate, if we skip a little bit, we find traveling in the same direction at 18. So Dakota's rate is 18. The time for Jared, we do know the time. 2 hours later, Dakota left traveling the same direction. So we know that Jared's time, let's say we're going to call his time X, and Dakota's time 2 hours later is actually 2 hours less than Dakota's time, so X minus 2. Now we're going to multiply our rate times our time, so 12 times X, which is 12X, 18 times X minus 2, 18 times X minus 2. Now, it's important to understand that these two distances will equal each other, because at the moment Dakota catches up with Jared, they're going to have traveled the same distance. So we're going to set the equations equal to each other. So we have 12x equals 18 times parentheses x minus 2. Or 12x equals 18x, 18 times negative 2 is negative 36. Now we're going to subtract 18x from both sides. 12x minus 18x, the difference between 12 and 18 is 6, so it should be negative 6x equals negative 36. Now divide both sides by negative 6, and we have x equals 6. Now, don't just stop here, because we have to realize, what is the question actually asking us? How long until Dakota catches up with Jared? You can see the final sentence. So we're looking for Dakota's time. So it's not 6, but Dakota's time is x minus 2, or x minus 2, which means the same thing as 6 minus 2, or 4. So how long until Dakota catches up with Jared? Well, he's going to catch up with him in 4 hours. So our answer to the question is 4 hours.